Just one. It's really stupid.
Oh, here we go.
What did the dragon say to the human?
What did he say?
I'm gonna be dragging these nuts across the face.
Oh my god.
Not
a demon's You got that, Craig? Put it in.
All right. So, first, I'd like to welcome you two to the Prologue, aka Session 0 of Season 2. I can't divulge the name of the campaign just yet, so we're just going to keep going with Season 2, as it is indeed a sequel to our previous campaign for Secret Saga.
Okay,
But not only that,
I'll name the save file Dragon.
Okay, sure.
Oh my god.
But what's also really cool is that we have a new player in our midst. Siggy, thank you for joining us in this wonderful excursion.
Hello, it's me, new player.
A new player, yes. He was actually part of a guest spot in The Seekers at one point. You played Dr. What was it? Krylov? Krell, right.
Sinlos, I think.
Sinlos, yeah, that's right.
The actual reason is we had to get international rights. We could only have him for a specific time slot, but for Season 2, we actually got full international rights.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. There was a ban on Canadian imports.
No, man, those are dark times. But now we can have our Tim Hortons and whatever else Canada has.
Not even Canadian. It's not even Canadian anymore.
Nope, it's true. I'm not with the times. But yes, thank you for joining us, and I hope you're as excited as I am to join in the madness, because I have a feeling that this entire new party is going to be more chaotic than the first game. So we'll see what happens, though. That being said, I'll go ahead and start us off. We're going to go ahead and start the scene with Andrew's character first, but I want to set the scene first before we get into it.
Terra, a world of modern advancements. Technology, science, and civilization has advanced greatly here on this plane. However, beyond the veil lies the world of the extraordinary. Magic, monsters, and secrets abound upon this star, and many mortals who seek these out for their own devices, completely unknown to those of the mundane. However, for one individual, that search is far more personal. We see a scene of a young man getting ready for his workday. Outside his window, there's a vast amount of traffic. Cars, people, those who are living their daily lives in this massive city. This man is no different. His happens to be a bit more exciting, for he is what is known as a sorcerer, those gifted with the use of magic by blood. Yet, he does not know why this is. In truth, he does not know who he even is, an amnesiac in every sense of the word. A year has passed since his coming to, still determined to find out who he really is.
Kosmo, I want you to take us through a day of your life in the morning, when you get ready for your job and such. What's that like?
I wake up and fucking clean out my gun, do a couple of push-ups, keep my body fit and straight, do a little bit of self-care. It's very important.
Absolutely.
And then go meet up with me retainer.
It is a typical day. It is a typical morning for you. You are currently living within DC at the time, as it was somewhat close to where you were from none other than the Bureau of Paranormal Investigations, or the BPI. You go ahead and take your commute over to the Bureau's building as you're ready to meet with your retainer. Once you enter through the doors, you are met with the familiar, bright and sunny face of a woman named Sally, human in appearance, as she is the sort of receptionist of this building, keeping a track of all visitors and, of course, any goings-on. After you go through the check-in gate and through security, of course, she sees you walk in and says, "Oh, Cosmo, good to see you again. Good morning."
Top of the morning, Miss Sally.
Hey, for certain.
Where's our boy? What's on the list for today?
Oh, right. So she goes ahead and starts shuffling through papers. It seems that Nick is all the way in Stella's office. Oh, I am so sorry. Stella is a name that you're not keen on. She is a very... There's a lot of words to describe her, none of them good. She's a bit of a hard ass, to put it in short. She's usually the one that is above your retainer and is generally very unpleasant.
I just sort of roll my eyes. Right, this will be quite stellar.
Right, you are. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Hopefully, if, everything is good and just in the world, it'll only be just a few moments. But they're waiting for you, so better not keep her waiting. Give her an excuse to yell at you.
Right. Well, have a good one then, Miss Sally.
Oh,
I'll
you
head
too.
off.
Yeah. You go through the familiar lobby of the bureau, go towards the elevators, and take a moment to collect yourself before the inevitable unpleasantness that awaits you. You know that this is just sort of the norm for you in this whole, job that you found yourself in. This is a place filled with people who are familiar with what is beyond the veil. However, bureaucracy still persists. We have all this magic, all this information, and yet bureaucracy still stands. That said, the doors ding, open, and ahead is Stella's office. I assume you go ahead and just head on in.
Yep. Right outside.
Yep.
I'll be like, it's a good day. It's a good day. Nothing wrong. We're just gonna go on about a regular mission. Yeah.
You open it up, and what greets you is the sight of a tiefling man over to your left-hand side inside this really nice furnished office. A little somewhat small, smaller than the usual higher-ups, but still very well kept together nonetheless. And behind the desk is a imposing Aarakocra woman who seems to be very much so like an eagle. And she stares at you as you walk in. Finally. It's how nice of you to join us. It's been a little longer than I had hoped.
Oh, sorry. Don't get your fucking feathers in a twist.
You can hear Nick clear his throat, kind of telling you to, cool it for a second.
I look at him, look back at her.
Yeah. Yes, it's good to have you here. Besides, it was only about 2 minutes, Stella. It's fine. And she says, fine if it was here where you're pushing pencils, but you two are field agents. Act like it. She sits back down. She takes a sigh.
I pull my shirt up and kind of tuck the front of my shirt in. Right.
Mm-hmm. Good. All right. Let me preface by saying that what I say next, going on forward, stays in this room. There is no information that should be shared outside of it. Do I make myself clear?
Clear as rain.
Nick nods. Of course. That's good. Now, I also want to preface that if I ever find the chuckle fuck that decided to put these down notes in the same way that they did last time, where everything was nebulous and generally unhelpful, I will strangle them. But this is what I have to work with. There's a town over on the West Coast, over on Washington State, a little bit off to the side. It's a place called Hope Springs. Ever heard of it?
No.
I'm not surprised. It's quiet, dull, boring. But from what I understand, it's a nice city. That said, however, there's a lot of activity happening there. Supernatural things, increased crime rate, stuff like that. According to these really piss-poor notes, as she sort of haphazardly frustratingly placed the paper on her desk, there's something going on over there that requires our attention. Something that is needed to be delicately handled. And she stares straight at you, Kosmo.
Right, delicate hands, I get it.
Exactly. We don't want them involved, especially if it has something to do with magic.
Right.
That said, I'm not sure exactly what it is that you two are looking for, but that's not really my job, is it? The thing is, higher-ups wanted to be very hush-hush about this. I don't know what their deal is, but that's what happens when you work with geriatrics. People who think they're
Right.
still spies, working for the CIA and such. Laughable.
Well, if we're not allowed to know what it is we're looking for, can we at least know why? What sort of paranormal activity are we talking about here?
We're talking about something potentially altering. No, I'm not going to say exactly what it is, because, quite frankly, I don't know. Again, these notes were written by a damn monkey. But what I understand from these field notes is that there had been increased activity of all kinds, paranormal, crime, etc., like I mentioned. There's something happening over there that needs eyes on it. Not to mention, there is a group that's known as the city's vanguard, essentially. They're called Talion. Ever heard of them?
No.
Again, not surprised. But I'll tell you one thing. Don't mess with them. That said, they might have some people who are, let's just call them VIPs. The reason why I say that is because they have their eyes and ears to the ground all the time. They know what's happening in their own city, obviously. So, just as a friendly hint, maybe you might want to chat up with one of them, but understand this. Again, don't mess with them. The reason being is because they're overglorified bikers. I'm sure you understand that they're not exactly the most friendly of people at times.
Well, I think Nick's ready for getting jumped in the corner by a bunch of crowbars and chains, aren't you, Nick?
Oh. Hey, man. Maybe in my youth.
You've still got some youth in you.
I don't know. That operation in the Shadowfell nearly shaved like 20 years off my life, which still aside. All right. You can two be a buddy with each other later. Just understand that this is dangerous. And again, this doesn't leave this room. You don't mention it to anyone. And not only that, there will be an intelligence officer assigned to you. I can't say who it is because they won't frickin' tell me. Again, geriatrics. But you only share information with each other and that individual. Do I make myself clear?
Clear as rain. But I'm a bit confused on the presence here. If there's an organization taking over and overseeing what's going on here, why don't we know anything? There's some sort of a disconnect, it's seeming like to me.
Observant. You're right, there is a disconnect, and I don't know what the deal is with that. As far as the group, I'm going to tell you right now, they don't like feds. So, more than likely, they're not going to be very keen on sharing information with any of us.
Well,
But again, that's not my problem, that's yours.
well then, and I look at Nick, I untuck my shirt. Looks like we're not feds today.
Joyous occasion. Always wanted to go out as a civilian. Stella just does the thing that most NPCs do: pinch the bridge of their nose with their index finger and thumb. Listen, you're still on the job. Understand? We need information. We need to know what's happening. You know the drill. That said, one last thing before you go off and do your thing. I know how you two operate. All right. The last mission was a fucking travesty. All right. We don't need the buddy cop duo that you two seem to be getting on with around here. Do you understand? You fuck this up. It's not just my head on this, but it'll be yours as well too.
Right, understood. I get it.
Oh, I hope so. And she leans back in her chair. Very well then, you'll have a flight ready for you soon enough. Looks like you're off to the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Well, off to bumfuck nowhere it is. Come on, Nick.
Right on you. He goes ahead and follows you outside the door. He goes ahead and gingerly closes it behind him. And he sighs. Oh, It is. She is so exhausting.
Got a lot of stress in that bird brain of hers.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get put in upper management. Crazy to think she used to be a field agent like us. Wonder what happened. A lot of the other people up in intelligence don't like telling me things. Not with that, but then again, it's not really my business.
Right. Is that like the end result of moving up from a field agent?
God, I hope not.
Right.
No time to think about that now. We got a plane to catch.
Off we go then.
Right. So, the two of you go ahead and make your preparations across the offices. Whatever it is that you may need. He goes ahead and grabs a couple of his own little things here and there. And the two of you are set off to Hope Springs, off on the other side of the country. It is a very typical, boring flight, essentially. It's just very stock standard. It's kind of interesting to the fact that you're working for an organization that deals with all kinds of supernatural happenings and things that are very much so on the fantastical side of things. But then you have this dichotomy in which you're just sort of cruising through it like a normal civilian. And at times you can almost sort of get lost in the meandering of mundanity. It's kind of a nice reprieve from all the weird stuff you've seen. After all, you've been a part of the BPI for the better part of a year now. And you've quickly made a name for yourself alongside with Nick. Nick being a man who has been a part of the BPI for a while now. He used to be a part of a special divisions unit dealing with breaches from other planes. However, he had to sort of reevaluate his career choice after he had nearly died in an accident that caused this entire squad to essentially fall off. He was the only sole survivor. That was until he mentioned that he was saved by a couple of people, seemingly just sort of waltzed into the Shadowfell and saved his ass. These individuals that you've come to know as Seekers, these individuals that had saved the world beforehand. It's something that Nick brings up every once in a while, just as mentioning how lucky he is that he is still alive to this day. That's just how he is. He tends to reminisce a lot. But as for you, you keep your focus in on the job. And I imagine that's how you kind of do so when you're on this plane ride, essentially. Is there anything that you sort of do while you're kind of waiting, or are you just kind of enjoying the normalcy?
No, I'll do a quick little search on my phone about who the Italian is, what it is we're walking into, anything of note regarding the city here.
Sure, go ahead and do your first roll of the season for you, an investigation check.
Okay, wait, I gotta use a good die for this. Determines the whole fucking season.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a roughin'.
Oh, is it?
I actually have a decent modifier. That's a total of 11.
11? That's pretty decent. You go ahead and look into searching Hope Springs and potentially any keywords of Italian, and you don't really find anything. There has been mention of the name, talking about a biker group that has set up shop within Hope Springs, but the general populace don't seem to mind them, as they tend to take care of people who tend to be a bit illicit. But they are also at times kind of disruptive at points. But you kind of chalk this up as a pretty typical biker behavior. However, one thing does come at you, and that is the fact that there was a reported explosion over in a apartment complex within the city. There was eyewitnesses mentioned something about two individuals who walked in. One of them looked like how to describe this one? One was very tall. Like, we're talking about Shaquille O'Neal size kind of person. Human,
Jesus.
of course. Yeah, big boy. And the other was seemingly carrying somebody who looked like a janitor inside. And then suddenly there was an explosion, and that was it. according to the reports, only one person actually died, while there was about maybe a couple others who were injured, but nothing too serious.
When is this post from?
This was from yesterday.
Oh,
So
shit.
it's very new.
I'll show Nick the post.
Yeah. He looks at it. He says, "What the hell is that about?"
I know. And of course, it's the day before we're going in. Maybe what we're here for has to do with this carried janitor individual. What does it say anything about the person that died?
Yes. You continue reading a little further, and it mentions that it was a middle-aged gentleman who apparently, according to a lot of people that knew him, had a bit of an illicit history, and possibly had. There was a lot of speculations in this post saying that it's very possible that they may have owed either Talion or somebody else within the city something, and now they've come to collect. And this is only potentially just the beginning. Nick speaks up. He says, I've actually been to Hope Springs once. Went with the wife, actually. Seeing your folks over there. It's a quiet town. Really boring, actually. It's a nice city. It's got quite a few things to do, but if you're not really that interested in like restaurants and other small bits and pieces here and there, like tourist traps, you're going to quickly not like this place.
Right,
So
it's just another small town.
That's pretty well developed, actually. Not too small, but they got the vibe for it. That being said, though, what's weird about this is that that's what it is. It's a sleepy town. I say sleepy. It's well developed. They've got a metro and everything. It's clean. It's nice. But, I mean, criminal activity is just something that doesn't really happen there that often. That's what's so surprising about this. That said, I don't think this is a terrorist attack.
I don't either. There'd be a specific message sent by it.
Exactly. The message here seems to be coming to collect.
Right.
But that's only one reporter's take on it. We'll have to see for ourselves once we get there. And then he sits back in his chair. That reminds me. Are you driving or I am?
Oh, I'm driving.
All right. Good. Because, honestly, be real with you, I don't feel like it.
No, I get it. An older man, you've struggled in the Shadowfell. Let the next generation help you out here, buddy. Come on. You take yourself a little geezer nap, and I'll take it from here.
You're gonna ride that pony all the way to town, aren't you?
No, I'm gonna ride in the driver's seat while you're snoozing.
What am I gonna do with you? You land within Washington State and head into getting your rental car that the BPI so graciously had given to you. Hop in into the driver's seat, push the button, start up the engine, and you're on the road.
Hope Springs, a quiet city with a seemingly boring and mundane exterior. A place that is unassuming on the surface, but the truth is far more complex. What's beyond the veil here is strange and frightening. Monsters from beyond mortals' normal understandings have been arriving here through unknown methods, causing fear within the general populace who have awakened. This is where Talion comes in. Like modern-day knights, they ride on their steel horses and crusade against this evil. They are the protectors of Hope Springs. However, they are at times brutal in their methods, especially dealing with those who seek to harm the innocent or have done wrong against them. The scene switches to another young man, one who seeks to prove himself to Talion and what they stand for. He has passed the previous trials and has gained the approval of his superiors. He is indeed a candidate worthy of his station, but he must prove himself once more. To face the darkness undaunted is what it means to be a part of this brotherhood. Geared with his weapon of choice, a seemingly humble baseball bat, he takes on the trial with his fellow hopefuls.
The scene switches over into a more rural side of things next to the city border of Hope Springs. We see a scene in which we see quite a group of people, about 20 odd people. all wearing all kinds of leather, and some even parts of their ensemble are plated as well, as a couple of individuals are standing side by side, including one that is the focus of our story for today. As there's talks between a couple of these individuals that seem to be standing tall and proud, there's another man in the front, a darker-skinned human man who has quite the build on him. He looks like he's a bit of a grizzled veteran of some kind. And as soon as he steps forward, all the whisperings from others seem to stop. And he looks to all of these people, and including to your direction. Good, all of you are here. I'm Knight Velos. I'm in charge of your trial for today. Each of you are hopefuls, waiting to become squires, and you've all passed your initial tests. But now this is where things get real. What I have here, and he brings out this large envelope, are orders from the Grand Master. He has seen fit that each of you are ready to partake in this trial. That said, he goes ahead and scans the entirety of this area. Each of you must understand at this point now, there's no going back. Everything that is about to happen here forward will be dangerous. In fact, it's very possible you may lose your life here. So that said, now's a good time to back out if you don't have the spine. He continues to look around. Everyone is silent. Good. Each of you have been divided into teams of 3. These are individuals that had been considered for your, trial. People that you've potentially gotten along with, and so on and so forth. We may be an organization dealing in many different violent happenings, but we are a brotherhood after all. If you can't learn to work with one another, you're not going to get very far. That said, each of you will also be supervised by a knight. They will be there to bail you if things happen to go sideways, but don't expect them to do the job for you. At which point he begins. The other knights that are standing by the other teams walk up and begin taking some of these smaller envelopes from the larger one. Inside, you'll be receiving orders from the Grandmaster himself, and you will follow those orders to the letter. I expect nothing but the best of each of you. However, once you do open up that envelope, it is the point of no return. That is it. One other thing. There will be no tolerance messing about with other people's marks. If I hear about this, I will hunt you down, if I must. But none of you seem to be that dumb enough to do something like that. But we'll see. I've been surprised before. Right. Each of you have what you need. Go ahead and take off now. We'll be waiting. May your hand be swift and powerful, and may the gods watch over you. Nell, tell us a little more about yourself here in this situation that you found yourself in.
Well, after leaving his, let's say, not ideal family life, he's been wandering around for a while, a bit, getting into trouble when a certain group took him in and owing them a favor for, I guess, picking up a stray along the road. He figured, why not pay them back for what they've done and join them? And so here he is today.
Yes, you've been one of the what they called hopefuls in the organization. Hopefuls are people who, of course, want to reach the actual official rank. A squire is not exactly the most luxurious of titles, but it is a start, and it is something that you've worked diligently at, including the 2 others that have been working with you for the past couple of months, actually. You've had an aptitude test for all kinds of things. You've been trained physically, mentally, to see if you're fit. And so far, you've been passing with flying colors, actually. It's been an interesting time for you to be really hitting your stride at this rate. The other 2 that you've been working with are One is a half-elven woman named Angela, and the other is a man, human male named Cliff. You've had some interactions with them. You're not like super close, but you've worked together on a couple of other things, and they've been been by your side through all the different tests and such. They too were sort of picked up like strays as well. So there's just sort of this camaraderie that the three of you have. But that being said, you haven't had a real assignment until now, in which the three of you have gathered together, and there's a knight who stands before you. As she goes ahead and takes her own helmet off, she appears to have some servine sort of features, and you realize this is a furbolg. He goes ahead and looks at the envelope, says, "Whew, big day, huh?"
Well, no going back.
Exactly. You heard the man. That said, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I am Knight Laurelana, and I'll be helping you through this as much as I can, actually. Can't really get that involved in how it is. Anyways, that aside, are we ready?
As ever.
Mm-hmm. All right. As Angela and Cliff nod, all right, here we go. And she goes ahead and opens up the envelope. She struggles a little bit with it. She's like, "Oh, this stupid friggin' thing." She goes ahead and takes out a letter opener. And she opens it. And she looks at it for a moment. She says, "This thing seems fatter than usual. Hold on." She looks. There's a note that she has in her hand. What the hell? This is a moment of visible confusion upon her face. She then looks to you, Nell. Nell, was it right?
Yeah.
I believe this is for you. I don't know if you should look at it beforehand. I don't know. It's got our seal on it, so it's official. But I don't know what the hell that's about. She goes ahead and hands you an envelope.
Is this one of those Grandmaster's orders?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. The order. I don't know. Usually the orders are just kind of nebulous in general. Like, this is supposed to be for all of you guys. I hadn't seen this before.
All right, then. Give me a moment.
Sure.
And he's going to walk away, a bit away from the group. Not too far, but
yeah,
just to get some privacy.
Yeah, exactly. You can see many of the other hopefuls and other knights that are supervising them start to mobilize and move out as you take a moment to yourself and have the envelope in your hand.
All right, let's see what the geezer wants with me this time.
You go ahead and open it up, and it is interesting that there was a slight ringing sound inside the envelope. When you do open it, you happen to see a handwritten note and a small bell within. The note, you go ahead and mention something about that this going forward is something that is regrettable but needs to be done, and that with your aptitude being so high, you've been chosen. Hold on to this little relic. It states a couple of points as well. Do not let anyone know that you have it. Hold it close to you. Never let it leave your sight. And whatever you do, if anyone comes to try to take it from you, you defend it with your life. Underneath that, it'll mention as well, all will become more clear as time goes on. I just need you to trust me. Grandmaster Kinross. So that's the contents of the envelope addressed specifically to you.
So yeah, reading this, he's a bit surprised by the contents. Especially given it's so sudden.
Yep. It's definitely very much so out of left field.
Hidden. Why wouldn't he just give this to one of the knights? And he kind of looks around at all the other people here taking the test.
Yeah, you see that there's a lot of other hopefuls that you've briefly interacted with, but there's also a lot of really official-looking knights. Many of them outfitted and kitted, as they always seem to want to be. They definitely want to create a bit of a presence for themselves. And it is interesting when you're looking at these individuals, wondering, why is it that you've been chosen?
And well, trying not to be too suspicious, he'll just casually fold up the letter quietly, put it in like his pockets, and I guess how big is this bell?
It's quite small. It fits in the palm of your hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he'll put it back. Did it come in like a bag?
Yeah, like a small little sort of velvety pouch, actually.
Okay, he'll put it back in the pouch, wrap it up, and place it into his. Does it have like a string?
Yeah, it's got a little sort of roped string that's sort of like teal in color.
Okay, yeah. So then he'll just loosen up his jacket for a bit and like put it kind of like wear it around his neck and then just hide it under his shirt.
Yeah, that's good. All right, sounds good. You try to do this without raising any sort of suspicions. You kind of left off to the side at any rate. So a lot of people aren't really looking at your direction anyhow. Everyone's too busy focused in on their current task. All right, so I suppose you make it back to your group.
Yep.
All right. As you do so, Lorelana sees you. Everything all good?
All good. Old man just wanted to brag about a new part for his bike.
Yeah, that seems about right. That guy is super boastful about that kind of thing. But then again, when you're in this business and you live as long as that, yeah, I guess he deserves that.
At least he's keeping himself up with a hobby these days.
Yeah, seriously, being stuck behind a desk? No, thank you. Anyways, that said, let's get into it, shall we? So she goes ahead and opens up the letter. It says, by the order of the Grand Master, we have been ordered to handle a hunt. Our mark is a aberration known as a Nothic. Apparently, this otherworldly creature has found itself within part of the rural parts of the counties, and is guess there's a lot of fear of it being close to city borders. An aberration. That's interesting. All right, simple enough. Goes ahead and folds up the letter. All right. Any questions before we get started?
It's wandered close to people yet?
Supposedly it was found in sort of like a farmland kind of deal, off nearby a forest. Real rural part of town, actually. That's what it looks like, judging by the address. She goes ahead and opens up her phone and starts checking the address. Oh, yeah, that's way out there. Okay. Ugh, I haven't been back around those parts in forever. It's possible I may have run into people, and that's probably why it's getting hunted down.
Right. Hopefully it's only there to steal some crops.
Hopefully. Angela says, I mean, it's an aberration, right? It's probably not there just to steal crops.
Right. You know anything about these Nothics?
Lorelana says, not really. I haven't really seen... I mean, I've heard the name, but I've never actually seen anything like it. The fact that it's an aberration is already pretty, well, I mean, kind of unsettling. But also kind of exciting. I'm kind of jealous I don't get to hunt this thing.
Guess we'll bring you back a souvenir.
If that's your way of getting some extra points with me, that's the surefire way to do so. Hell yeah, I like it. All right. Well, if there's nothing else that anyone needs, let's be off.
He's just gonna pat down all his equipment and getting ready to leave with the others.
Very good. She goes ahead and drives all of you through the more rural parts of the city. Mostly, of course, outside the borders of it, where there's a lot of trees and forest, a lot of farmland. And it takes a few minutes Although it does feel like it's taking forever. The anticipation is kind of palpable between Cliff and Angela. But each of you just sort of have a moment to sort of talk amongst yourselves and sort of find yourself in this really kind of exciting part now that you're really about to embark on this journey to become part of Talion now. This is what you had strove to do and what you had hoped to achieve, and it's nearly within grasp. You just need to face off against some sort of monstrous thing now. And once that essentially comes to a close, that thought comes to a close, you all begin to head out from the car after getting it parked and find yourself in this farmland with dense forests in the clearing.
Well, now that we've come this far, you two aren't getting cold feet, are you?
Cliff scoffs. No, of course not. We got this. This is going to be easy street. Come on. Angela says, well, I mean, sure, but it is an aberration. We don't know what we're dealing with. And it's not like the knight here can tell us exactly how to handle this.
Well, we better get this done before sunset.
I agree. Let's get going. Who's taking point? As Angela speaks up to the two of you.
I'll do it. Point me the way. And he, from his back, he unravels like a bit of a sling, and then just kind of takes out like this big, like a metal bat, kind of black.
Ooh, yeah.
And smacks the ground a bit.
Yeah,
Good
you can
to
hear
go.
it sort of dinging on that, making a pretty resounding sound from it. All right, young badasses, let's get on it. So, you begin striding off to, well, I imagine you probably, where do you want to go? Where do you want to check out?
Did they mention a spot where it was first spotted?
It was only within this area.
Within the area. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll walk along the path and search for any like traces of it, like scratches or weird footprints.
Sure, go ahead and do a survival check.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Actually, really good. That's really good. You begin heading towards the actual clearing of the forest and kneel down, check the ground. And sure enough, there are some very odd-looking footprints. They almost seem kind of reptilian. They seem to have some kind of talons of some sort. Large for a creature that seems to have this kind of footprint. Usually when you think reptilian, you usually think like iguanas or some, bearded dragons, little dudes. This thing's kind of large for that kind of footprint. And you can't help but think about maybe some of those movies that involves dinosaurs. But they do move on into the forest proper.
And then, so as I'm kneeling down and inspecting the footprints, I raise my hand up to group. Wait, I spot something.
They stop in their tracks and look to you.
These tracks here lead into the forest. Looks big, whatever it is. Unless this is a gator far from home. I think this is probably what we're looking for.
Yeah, Angela nods. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, onward then. It is kind of irritating to go through all this brush as well. I'm not sure if Nell is a bit of a hiker or if he just is not very keen on nature. What's his take on it? What's his thought process?
He's not like super outdoorsy, but he has like hiked a bit off-road. For
sure, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Especially considering Hope Springs has some pretty decent sort of forests as well. There's like a national forest outside from the actual city proper. Cliff is definitely an outdoorsman. Angela's not having a great time though. So this is about around the time that the weather is still pretty decent outside, but unfortunately this is also starting to cause for all kinds of critters to kind of come out, namely mosquitoes and such. You're definitely having to move your bat around to move the brush a bit try to pass through it without much incident. You start hiking up a hill, continuing to find these tracks. Hold on, actually. I don't have to ask about your passive perception. It's right here.
Yes, it is.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check then.
Same as the passive.
Wow. 10. Something seems a little off. I'll go ahead and roll for the other two. But you can't necessarily place your finger on what that is.
Blasted bugs everywhere.
Luckily, your helmet is also kind of keeping it at bay. But it's still really obnoxious.
Yep. Like the
Angela
little buzz kind of ringing around.
Yeah, exactly. Angela doesn't see it. Oh, but Cliff does. He stops for a minute. He starts sniffing. Oh, gods, what the hell is that? Smell something rancid.
Yeah, lift the visor a bit just to take a bit of a sniff.
Yeah.
Instantly regret it.
Yeah. Oh, mother of gods, that's awful. It smells like death.
The hell is that? A corpse?
Might be. Oh, God. Where's that coming from? It's all over. You can go ahead and roll another perception check. Maybe you can spot it.
Okay. Way better. 18?
18, much better that time, yes. You try not to breathe in too much, but you're going to utilize this moment to use a scent to actually get something. And you begin walking up this hill, up into a more open area of the forest where you can actually sort of see the sun rays kind of shine through the canopy. And down in center, you see something blackened within quite a lot of leaves, foliage, and it's just sort of laying there. It has its back to you, and the smell is just getting worse as you're approaching. It smells of death.
Shh. Try to quiet the two with me. In the bush.
They kneel down next to you as they look overhead. Oh, yep, that's it. Oh, that's awful.
Hold your nose if you have to. Or wear a helmet like they tell us to.
How else am I going to look good doing this, though?
You might look better with stitches.
All right, what's your approach?
So, kneeling down, I'm going to buff myself before going in.
All right,
So
sounds like a good idea.
Yep, I'm going to cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Ooh, good call.
So across the jacket, right? The black jacket he's got on, kind of like, ferro fluid?
Yeah.
Kind of like lines his jacket. So you see like these black liquidy spikes like kind of protrude out and in slowly.
Oh, that's so cool.
Super cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So now his jacket's all spiky.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, you utilize your magic to have this ferro fluid protect you. In the meantime, that is remind me, is that also temp HP, or am I thinking something different?
It's temp HP, yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Utilizing your magic, you have now given yourself a little bit of some buffer to work with.
Yep. And do I actually see the thing from here, or do I just know where it is?
You see it. It seems to be laying still. Eerily still.
All right. Well, you got me covered. Whatever it is, I'll bring it out of the bush.
Cliff nods. Yeah, man, absolutely. Angela says the same. Yep, got you covered. Don't worry.
Well, on 3. 3. So I ran at it with my bat, and as I'm running in, I'm gonna Hexblade curse it.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. You Hexblade curse it, and what's weird is that once you throw your hand out to curse it, the magic sticks, but you've done this before. It feels like it's not really staying on.
Ooh.
But it is indeed hexed.
Okay.
Something doesn't feel right about it.
Well, too late to turn back.
No.
Meet your maker.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit.
Yep. And I'm going to use my background feat to precise strike this thing.
Oh, shit.
So that's going to give me advantage on the roll.
Ooh, nice.
Well, so much for that. That's only a 13 to hit.
Let me check. Oh, no. So you managed to hit it, but you hit it on its back, which has these uneven spikes all across it. But when you do, the spikes actually break off from your bat. Kind of easy, as a matter of fact. It doesn't make a sound, but you bash it. But it doesn't move.
Something's not right here. But, well, that was bonus action. I got movement to get there. I got nothing, so we'll see what happens.
Go ahead and do a survival check for me.
Okay. 21.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah, something is absolutely off. This thing is grotesque looking from the back, but then you start to sort of sidestep a little bit to keeping your bat ready at hand. You look over and you get to see the visage of this thing. I will go ahead and show to the two of you in the other chat so that no one gets ideas. It's this thing.
Oh God.
Yeah. It's this horrid one-eyed creature
Yep.
with this horrid mouth on it. And it's there. Its eye is glossy. And you realize this thing is dead. You take a look at it further, and it is... You didn't notice it before because you were so ready to pounce on it, that this thing is riddled with bullets. Somebody came in for your mark.
I turn around to the others. I kick it out of the bush.
Yeah, you do so, and it takes a little bit of effort to kick it out, but you do so, and it rolls over. And you can see that it is, for everyone else to see as well, it is dead. Dead as a doorknob.
It really was a corpse.
And Angela looks at it. Wait, is that supposed to be our mark? But it's dead. What the hell gives?
Someone was here before us.
Laura Lana shows up as well, too. And she kneels down onto it, next to it, looks over, says, "Yeah, you're right. Well, this is some BS. No one else was supposed to know that this thing was out here but us." Ooh, okay. If somebody messed with the orders, I'm going to have their head.
Any chance it was a civilian?
She takes a look closer. She looks at it and says, "It could be, but I don't think so. There's a couple of bits of shrapnel here and there. Not to mention, what's interesting about this is she picks up a what looks like to be a discarded piece of metal. Is that this has some kind of small enchantment on it. It's barely recognizable, but I can feel it. If anyone were to do this, it would either be someone who knows magic, or it was one of us.
What's the point of messing with our mark then?
I don't know. But again, I'm not happy about this because I was really excited for you guys. I'm going to have some words. Go ahead and roll another perception real quick there, Nell.
Okay. 4.
4.
Woo.
Nice. You don't really... You go to turn around now. You're, I imagine, probably pretty disappointed that your mark has been taken. This is your chance to prove yourself, and now it has been quickly swept from you.
Yep. He had some adrenaline pumping in him, grabbing that bat, and he kind of... And then he puts it back, slings it back over.
You do so, and there's something that doesn't feel right again. Maybe it's just the horrid smell or something that you can't necessarily put your finger on. However, it happens so quickly. First, it just happens really quickly. First, you're turning back, and you're about to leave. You have 2 of your companions and the knight supervising you up in front. And then all you can hear is the sound of tinnitus through your ears, and you're essentially blinded. And you start to sort of stumble a bit. You can't see, at first, but then once you start to get your bearings a bit more, you find yourself on the floor, on the ground, and you hear gunshots. They're very faint. But then you start to see the bodies of your companions fall to the floor. And you try to look over, because you're on your side now, and you try to turn yourself over, and you see a visage of a couple of people, and once you start to get more of your bearings, you realize that these are supposed to be your fellow Talion members, and they're now hunting you. Lorelana grabs you and begins dragging you across the ground. You're still dazed and confused, and you start to realize that someone threw a concussion grenade at you. They were waiting for you.
Oh, it's ringing out in my helmet right now.
Yeah.
Always wear protective equipment, man.
Exactly. But unfortunately, this, as you begin to have your body dragged, you can just see the dead bodies of your companions that were once right there, now being left behind next to that thing and these traitors.
He's like really holding himself back from just breaking free. If it wasn't for the concussion that he suddenly received.
Yeah, true. But you can see that they're starting to chase you down, and there's these faint gunshots that are ringing about, and you're still trying to get your senses back. You close your eyes for a minute, and then you wake up with Lorelana in your face as she's trying to slap you awake. Hey, come on, get up. I need you up.
Where are they?
We lost them. Holy shit. She kind of just gets up and just tries to even herself. Okay. You're not hurt, are you? Did they shoot you?
I think I'm fine. I pat down my body real quick.
You check, and you're fine, actually. You haven't been shot. But you look over to Lorelana, and you can see that there's crimson running down her arms. Okay, good. We gotta get the hell out of here. Get in the car. I'm gonna get us out of here.
All right. Angela, Cliff, what happened?
She looks at you, and there's just this moment that she has. You already could tell in her demeanor is very sort of carefree and kind of very casual. But there's this moment of just abject pain on her face as she tries to find the words. All she can say is, "I'm sorry."
So where am I right now?
Currently right next to the van as she propped you up against it. So you're back where you started.
Frustrated a bit, take the bat and just smack the ground for a second. Fine, let's go.
We gotta go back into the city. We gotta talk to the knights and the higher ups. Something ain't right. She goes ahead and slams the door, puts the keys into the ignition, and hauls ass down the road. Meanwhile, back turning our scene over back to the buddy cop duo. You two are currently cruising down the highway. It is a beautiful sunny day outside, and you're currently driving right now, Kosmo. During this conversation, Nick's on his phone, and he stops for a second, and he says, "Hey, Kosmo.
Hey?
Entertain me for a second, but do you think maybe Stella might be hiding something?"
Oh, that's the first thing I thought.
Okay, so I'm not just thinking that she's just a grade A, you know what.
Bird brain? No. She's definitely up to something. And I'm a little worried that it's just the two of us out here, because this could definitely be a trap. And I don't... Not that I don't think we can handle it. It's what's the point of it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Something, I don't know, off about this whole assignment. I get it. The people in upper management tend to be very secretive about things, but we don't have a lot of information to work with here.
Exactly.
I know that sometimes our scouts can be a bit, well, leaves room for improvement for sure, and that's being generous, but I don't know. I feel like that there's something more to this case. I mean, if it's just a matter of crime, this Italian group, as well as the actual police, can handle it. Why are we being sent?
Shrug.
It's a real friggin' mess, huh? Although, that Italian thing has got me curious. Maybe we do speak with them. Get some info. What do you say?
Well, I'm more worried that Italian is the trap. She's telling...
He can't really do anything else right at the moment. That just leaves thug number 1. He's currently asleep. Okay, Kosmo, your go again. Also,
is he looking hurt at all from the damage he just
yeah,
took?
Definitely. He's getting there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna chill.
Okay. You're gonna hold your action?
No, I'm gonna chill touch him.
Oh, chill touch. Okay, I see.
Yeah, sorry. I don't think that's gonna hit. I'm gonna use Tides of Chaos.
What was the attack?
It totaled to...
That is
5 is 14.
14? That actually is just enough to hit. Feet tall.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude that he was...
4 points of necrotic.
4 points. All right, very nice. Let's see. Yep, 4 points. And can't regain hit points until the start of its next turn. Okay, nice. Until then, the hand clings to the target. If you hit an undead target, it also has disadvantage on attack rolls against you. Okay, well, he's not undead. Okay, yeah, very good. Yeah, you reach out your hand, and a spectral skeletal hand grabs this guy. And between the coldness of the armor of Agathis and now getting manhandled by this ghostly hand, he's not having a great time here. All right, anything else that you can do?
No.
Okay, very nice. All right. He knows that. Next up will be Laura. She goes ahead and brings in another attack. She says, "Go down, damn you!" And unfortunately, that's going to be a 13 to hit. That does not hit. She brings it down once again. He sidesteps out of the way. But next turn, he goes ahead and tries to aim for another shot. He's going to actually try to firebolt instead. Okay, now I'm starting to get these really bad numbers for them. That's a 12. Pew, goes right off to the side. Do so, just sort of driving. Then, yep. All right, Nell, your turn.
All right, here we go again. Clutching the bat, he goes for a swing. Precise strike. Hoping for a home run.
Home run.
Well, that's a 16.
In front, that does hit.
Okay, here we go. D8 and then precise strike. That's 11 to hit. I mean 11 damage, sorry.
11 damage. Ooh, moment. Actually, yeah, that's wow. All right. That was really good. All right, tell me how you dispatch this guy.
Yeah. So I kind of sweep his leg so he falls, and I walk over as he's on the ground.
Switches over, the same thing happens to. Ooh.
Marked.
Bring it right down. Right up, I imagine, right on his face. Right in his skull. Yeah, he hits the floor really hard, and before he can actually react to anything, there is clear fear on his face as you had bludgeoned this man to death and have actively taken out a knife now. His hand falls to the floor limp as his shotgun clatters against the pavement.
So
leaving the...
Lifting the bat up. I look to the side. To the two strangers there. You aren't civvies. The hell you want?
We're looking for something. Now put your hands in the fucking air.
Laura speaks up. Whoa, chill, man. Hey, we're not with them. They tried to kill us. Looking biker dudes.
Look at them.
One.
Then help me tie them the fuck up before they wake up.
Laura looks to you. No. Other starts like, Victor goes ahead and starts moving over to the road.
I start putting handcuffs on the 3 that are asleep.
You do so. Very easy. They are like limp noodles. So, and eventually a minute passes and they begin to awaken a bit.
All right, no. Oh.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, what the? Oh shit. No, this wasn't supposed to go like this. Laura brings her halberd to the guy's neck. Don't move. You know what happens to traitors. She goes ahead and looks to you, Cosmo. This was your idea, right? So, let's see what you got then. Also,
Well, don't mind if I do.
yeah. Also, your reduced size has been has run its course, by the way, so you're fine.
Oh yeah. All right. Don't mind if I do.
Oh, so he's not that small. Wow. That's kind of a...
No, it's me fucking magic.
Oh, I get it. Okay. I don't know, it was a good look on you.
I turn to the three that are handcuffed.
Yeah. There's, you can see that one is a tiefling, the other is a human, and the other happens to be a bugbear.
I'll start with the bugbear.
Whoa, hey, buddy. No need to get too violent now, alright? We were only doing what we were told.
No, I get it. I get it, Furface. Now, I've just got a couple questions for you, trying to figure out why you're pointing guns at us. We've just gotten to the city, not looking for any trouble, but now we're on the side of the freeway here. Doing what exactly?
Yeah, he kind of looks over at Nell. Says, we were ordered to get him. And he tries to move his head over to gesture towards Nell.
Good ditch.
Right, well, he's not so special now, special looking now, is he? So you're getting him for who?
For the higher-ups, the true acolytes, they call themselves.
The true acolytes of Talion?
Yeah. Wait, you know of them?
I'm trying to know them.
You do recognize...
Are you saying that you're a part of them yourself?
One of the other, the tiefling speaks up. We're actually hopefuls. We were supposed to get in. They promised us that we get in easy if we just listen. They said that these guys were heretics.
I look at Nell.
Mm-hmm.
See, well, they're all after you. Are the words they're speaking about you true? Are you some sort of heretic?
We're hopefuls. I'm a hopeful just like them. But
Oh, you're a part of Talion too.
Lorelana.
You can see that she's starting to crawl out.
Do you know anything about these true acolytes?
She shakes her head. Not a friggin' clue. And yeah, we're with Talion. All right. She goes ahead and sort of steps in front of Nell in sort of like a protective fashion. So don't get any weird ideas, okay? He's under my charge. No.
All right. Well, there's no incursions made here yet by your lot. It's just sort of infighting, and that's the only idea I'm getting is that you all don't know how to run a fucking business, and you're fighting with each other.
Hey, whoa, listen, all right? I'm not the one who makes the rules here, all right? We were as tight as can be, so this is as much as a surprise to anyone here. We're in the dark as much as you are.
Buggers jumped us in the forest.
Yeah. Look, we were trying to go through a trial. I was there to supervise them. And then all hell broke loose, and I had to drag him out. They want what he has. I don't know what that is, but I sure as hell am not going to let anyone hurt him.
And what is it you have that they want so bad?
Handed. She looks to you, kind of puzzled, Nell.
Probably the letter.
One letter? Wait, you mean the one from earlier?
Can't think of anything else.
And he begins clutching his head.
Not on my watch.
They were looking for info?
Could be. Coded.
Insight check.
Okay, insight. Go ahead, both of you.
All
roll.
right.
Oh, no way.
Well, only a 10 on my side.
Oh, mine was a nat 13.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know what
So,
mine was.
no.
15.
Oh, 15, alright. No. Was that a direct lie?
100%.
Yeah.
Black.
Well, if it's information they're looking for, and a specific charge they're looking for, why don't we give them exactly what it is they want?
Over my dead body.
Laura looks puzzled. These guys just tried to kill us. What are you talking about?
Oh, these little shitters can't do anything to us. They just proved that. But I'm looking for information. You're in the dark. And we can sit here and run around the city looking for clues like fucking
Very nice.
Scabby in the gang.
Oh, I love that cartoon.
But
all right, so
we can cut right to the
he's fast
chase,
asleep. Can't do
set
anything
up a
about
little
it. He's
plot.
hit the
They'll
floor.
think that
Disarmed
everything
as
went
well, too.
right.
His firearm
Lo
off
and
to the
behold,
side.
it hasn't.
Cosmo.
And we get the jump on them. Yeah.
You've got sharp eyes.
All right,
But-
charm person.
No. I'm not letting go of it.
You can see as well. Nick goes to the body of the knight that Nell bludgeoned. He starts looking through his stuff. He pulls out his wallet. He starts to go through it. Something catches his eye. Oh, what do we got here? Okay. Hey, Cosmo, can I get you for a second? You're not
Right.
fighting the
The
person
two of you
he was
don't go
shooting
anywhere.
at, so
I walk away.
step off to the side. He brings up this paper. Take a look. These are some
Take a look.
direct orders from someone.
Yep.
There was a lot of wear and tear in here, so some of the names are scratched out, but this is the part that caught my eye. He brings his index finger over to a name called Velkin. And the note says, retrieve info from Velkin. Guy's supposed to be good.
18.
Now, I don't expect you to know that name, but guy that has been a right pain in the ass when it comes to law enforcement. Guy's starting to make a name for himself in the underworld. His name's Jacob Velkin. Now, I heard he made a base around in Hope Springs for a while, but I didn't think that he was still there. There's a lot of reports that he left. Go ahead. If they're talking about getting info from this guy, that means he's back. And those guys, he kind of looks a little bit over his shoulder to the other two. I don't think we need to discount them just yet. They're being cooperative so far, after all. I just hope they haven't figured out the fact that we're, pets.
No, I think they're a little too dense to catch on to it that quickly.
Have it.
I fold the paper out, put it in my pocket.
Okay.
Can I also search his body to see if he has anything else useful?
Yeah, sure. You go through his stuff, and you happen to find a couple of little valuable trinkets that are worth at least, in the terms of this game, 50 gold. Just a little few bits of accessories here and there, maybe able to help you get a little ahead of the game as far as money's concerned.
He has a shotgun too, right?
Yes.
Can I take that and any ammo he has?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see that he has about at least 6 shells that were lined up on a belt strapped to his leg.
Right. I'll put those in my pocket and take the shotgun.
Sure. Go ahead and mark that down.
I'll walk back out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see what it is this information on this note is.
You go ahead and start sharing the info with
No, I'm talking to Nell.
Nell. You talking to Nell?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what do you want to know? You aren't civvies. They don't cast spells like you.
Oh
Roll
no,
intimidation
I'm looking
with
for a little bit of
disadvantage,
information
because you're
while I'm
small
in the
and kind of
city.
adorable.
And
15?
you two
That
seem
with
to be a
with
little more
disadvantage,
well
too.
acquainted with what we got going on.
Nice.
So,
The
for the sake
guy
of your
that
own
is currently
skin,
the only one awake looks back.
why not a little
What the fuck are you
let's
supposed
not
to
call
be?
it teamwork, but conjunction. I help you stay alive.
Nell, you're
you
currently
help me
seeing
find what
this
it
as
is I'm
this
looking
guy
for.
who is in a
We go on our merry
nice
ways.
two-piece suit. Laura kind of looks to the eyes the two of you. Tiny. You did save our asses back there as well, but I'm not sure about the two of you. What is it that you're looking for exactly?
Information. And until I get a little bit of give from you, well, I'll let you take some of that information from me. So, and I look to Nell.
Fine then. Well, it doesn't seem like you're with them, but I think this is what they want.
Ew.
From the neck, I pull it up, the bell, give it a bit of a ring.
You bring out one of these bells, and Laura looks to this and is shocked. Whoa, hold on. You have a bell? You're not supposed to have one of those until you reach knighthood. She goes ahead and brings out from her belt as well, that she has strapped to her side, a little bell that's sort of ding-ding on the side as well too. Her rope strap for it is a bright crimson color.
Crimson.
And you can see that the bells themselves are ornate and have these jewels embedded into them. Very small, but enough to make it look pretty valuable. Nick is.
I wondered why the Grandmaster didn't give this to any of the knights. I think, well, We know why now. Told me to keep this safe.
He must have known then something was going on. This trial has turned into something else entirely.
We've got traitors in the ranks.
That's never happened. Okay. Laura's having a bit of a internal crisis, but then looks to you, Nell, says, okay, the Grandmaster must know something if he chose you. I mean, from what I understand, you scored really high on the tests. Your aptitude was high, and you weren't at all bothered by the grisly things that we tend to do. So he had to choose you for a reason, right?
Well, I know it's thanks to him that I was given this chance to be here anyways.
Are you particularly close with the Grandmaster?
Not quite. He's the one that picked me up off the roads, though. Maybe it's because I'm more of an outsider than the others here.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
I don't know. A few months ago.
Oh,
Said he was going somewhere.
Okay,
really
so that just leaves
You
the
don't
other
have-
guys. They're fast
don't have a
asleep.
direct line to him.
Honk shoe.
Keeps to himself.
Tends to be a bit secretive, especially in the past couple of months. He must have known something was going on and had to play it safe.
Probably lying low if there's traitors about.
So they must be after the bells then.
That the other hopefuls, do you think they're in danger too? Or in on this plot? Bullet.
It's got to be either or, right? They're either in on it or they're about to get off too.
And where do we go from here?
I look at the bugbear.
Mm.
Oi, Fairface.
Yeah.
Where is it you were supposed to meet him? Meet Mr. Valken.
Right? There's this moment of just this point where he's now choked up now that he knows that you guys know everything. Pure shit. Okay. Look, I can explain. From what little we got told, we were supposed to be meeting him at his usual spot in the industrial district. There's a warehouse apparently that has him there, and they were going to be meeting for some info.
You've got an address. It's a rather large city. I'd rather not waste the afternoon looking around.
Yeah, I can get that down.
Right, and I'll type it down as you read it
Yeah,
off
you
to
go
me.
ahead and get it down. You really should be careful about this guy. He's building up a whole underworld empire. It's not to be trusted.
Well, neither are you, but you're still here. So, let's not dismiss the man immediately. I look over. Is it an over the river type of bridge?
Kinda, yeah.
Freeway?
Yeah.
Yep. So, in exchange for your lives, and I'll pick up the bugbear.
Mhm.
I'll look to Nell. You pick him up, you two, Nick. Bring him on over,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna walk him to the edge of the bridge.
Okay, sure. He goes ahead and does. Nick goes ahead and follows along your lead. He's not quite sure what you're doing, but he's just sort of following along for now.
I look over to Lorelai, like a little confused.
Yeah, she's got a look of visible confusion on her face. What the fuck are these guys doing?
No.
Now, and I'll unclasp the handcuffs from the tiefling.
Okay.
Everything you've told us here is accurate and true, right? Because your lives are dependent on it.
Yeah, it is. Look, I don't know much else about what's going on around here. We were just told if we follow along, we'd get in, and this was our chance.
And I shoved the tiefling off the edge.
As he begins to fall down into the river below.
Now, and I'll walk up behind the elf. Are you sure that's all you're knowing?
Yeah, I swear they didn't tell us much at all.
And I take the handcuffs off and shove the elf too.
Ah, fuck! And then he hits the river. As the bugbear looks over behind his shoulder, a visible shock across his face.
I take the handcuffs off of him. Well, at least you've got a little bit of retribution coming from your honesty here today.
Oh.
And for that, you'll all have a nice long swim home. And good luck trying to beat us where it is we're going, because betraying us won't end well for you. And I push him off the edge.
Ah! And then he hits the river as well. And Nick sees this, and he's kind of like baffled a little bit. But he's like,
What? They would have just ran off and fucking gave us away.
I mean, you damn near scared those guys shitless, but alright, sure. You know what? I'm with it.
Assurances, my friend.
Sometimes I guess we just have to play hardball then, huh?
Now, we've only got a little bit of time until they get their way out to the water. Let's get going.
And Laura looks, yeah, that's great. I hate to say it, but your car's the only one that's not totaled.
Oh, so you are needing an escort. All right, come on. Come on. With a bit of smug.
Yeah. Hey, don't get any funny ideas now, all right?
There's too many meddlers in our town.
I know. I mean, just yesterday I had talked to a couple of people, actually. They're some real freaks, man.
Who's this one anyways?
Guy with...
And I point down to the knight with the bashed skull.
Oh, his head bashed in brutally. Yeah. Oh, that's Devos. He's an ass. I didn't recognize him after seeing the back of his ugly head, but now that I'm seeing it, this is like a notable improvement on his face. Nice job.
Devos. Looks better this way.
You handled yourself well out there. I can see why the Grandmaster really did decide to pick you. Good job. Speaking of meddlers, though, yeah, like I mentioned, there was some real freaks I met earlier. There was a guy that was really hairy looking and this really tall dude in nothing but a banana hammock. It was weird.
Oh, tall man.
She looks over as you're about to get into the car. Yeah, tall guy, big dude.
I look at Nick. Look at her.
Out of towners.
Yeah, definitely didn't belong here.
And you can recognize him if you saw him again.
Yeah, like this guy looked like he came from like ye old England or something, but he was in nothing but a banana hammock. It was bizarre. I tried to get them to move along, and I actually got this guy clothes along with this other guy that was a really hairy looking guy in a janitor suit. Weird as hell.
He was carrying the man in the janitor suit, right?
Yeah. Like, almost like carrying him like a stray cat. It was the weirdest thing I've seen in like a long time.
Come on, get in, and I'll jump in the car.
Yeah. Laura nods and she goes ahead and heads into the back seat.
I'll follow her.
You guys get into the back, and Kosmo, I imagine you start up the car and head down the road.
Yep. And drive off. Yep. As soon as we get past a little bit of wreckage, you say, well, it's looking like we're all going to be acquainted quite a bit longer than any of us would like. So, and I look at Nell, like, through the rearview mirror. Where are you from?
Nowhere. Just the road.
Oh, really? I'm not too far off from that myself.
You guys are 2 peas in a pod at this rate, as Nick says. He's looking through his phone. You can see Kosmo that he's going through a database.
Have you at least a clue about how you grew up?
Why should I tell you that?
Well, we're going to be spending a little bit of time together, and by the sounds of it, a little bit longer than I would have liked in order to get what it is I'm trying to do done. So, a little bit of trust is necessary in any partnership.
Right, and you know my name, but I don't know yours.
My name is Kosmo.
Kosmo? Huh. That's an interesting name. It's only fair. I'm Knight Laurelana, and I was in charge of looking over this one and 2 others that unfortunately were murdered in cold blood by those that we took out. It's been a hell of a day.
Right. I'm Nell. And used to live with my father up north for stealing his bike and hitting the road.
Well, and I reach my hand back behind the headrest. Nice to meet you, Laura.
She goes ahead and grabs your hand.
And then I turn it around and like reach straight-armed back towards Nell. And as you see the open palm of his hand, you see on the inside of his hand, there's a whole bunch of burn marks. Not anywhere else on his wrist or anything, but on the palm of his hands, there's like unique lines burned into his palm.
Okay. I guess I'll follow up on what Lorelana did.
So, you guys are coming into town for what exactly? I'm pretty sure it's not visiting one of the many tourist traps here.
That's not too far from it. The tourism that attracts the people here is exactly what we're here for.
It didn't give me that kind of vibe, but alright. Sure.
Not what specifically attracts everybody else, but it's what makes the city stands out that's brought us.
You seem quite keen on that tall man and the janitor.
Hey, he's actually part of what we're here for. There's been quite a few strange occurrences, and I guess what you could call an inquisitive mind.
So, wait, you guys like private eyes or something?
That's a way of wording it.
Huh. Okay. Sits back in the chair.
Right. Sharp eyes. The way you looked over that body. You clearly work for someone.
You see, he looks at you in the rear view and then looks back at the road.
As long as you're not with the traitors, we can make this work.
My thoughts exactly.
You know what? At this rate, beggars can't be choosers. I'm with Nell on this.
And just based off of what I saw back there, you're probably going to need what it is I have to offer. And you see this little glow comes from his fingertips.
Not bad.
Don't think I didn't notice what you tried to do.
Well, apologies for that, actually. And you see, locks eye contact. I definitely did not know if you were friend or foe. Walking into a strange occurrence of getting shot at, I didn't know if you'd turn on me.
Fair enough. I was thinking about it. I tapped the bat on the side of the van.
And you see, and I smack Nick's chest, assurances.
Oh, whoa! You gotta warn a guy when you do that. Whoa. So, that said, I actually had looked into this Velkin guy. I knew of the name, but I didn't really know what his deal was. And now I got a bigger picture. So, apparently this guy is working on the behalf of himself. He's working up a bit of an empire, as we had heard. And he most certainly is starting to make a name for himself. Hope Springs used to be pretty much a stomping ground until he decided to leave about a month earlier. Now he's back for some reason. Don't know what the deal is, but he must have found something, or maybe a job opportunity went around. He's the kind of guy that takes care of jobs. He looks for people like us, people who know magic and knows what's beyond the veil to make money. That said, though, this guy is in some really illicit stuff, so we must be really careful about how we handle this. That said,
Have you got a picture of his mug?
That I do. He goes ahead and shows you. You can see what looks like to be a somewhat pale, portly-looking individual with these really overly expensive sunglasses and long, dark hair. Kind of a fair complexion as well, too. You just kind of would think that he might just be some guy who's just like a tourist, maybe, in some place. However, there is this sort of look of potential mischievousness to him.
A gesture back so he shows everybody in the back seat the picture.
Yeah, so Nell, you get to see this as well, too. This individual. He doesn't look familiar to you at all.
I don't really know this guy. Gotcha.
Nope.
Not familiar to me.
Laura looks. I've heard the name before, but I don't know the guy either. Nick says, so I have an idea. So if we all four show up in one place, that might set off some alarm bells, right? Here's what I'm thinking. 2 of us will stand out watch, and the other 2 will go in and speak to the man directly. Play into his game a little bit. Try to get his trust. Maybe we can get some info out of him if we just sort of work with him a bit. We don't really have any other info to go on, right? We play our cards close to our chest for now, and we go from there.
Right. And as a show of trust, we'll split the halves in 2. Me and Nell, and Laura and Nick.
He nods. I can work with that.
Fine.
She nods. Yeah, sure, that's fine. As long as we can get some friggin' answers.
Alright, we'll go in. You 2 keep watch. Nick, have your phone ready in case anything happens.
He gives a little shake. Don't worry, I always got it on me. A little time passes as you finally enter into the city proper. You get in, start looking around for this industrial district. You get a little help from Laura, as she knows the city like the back of her hand. And she helps you along into what looks like to be this rundown part of town. The industrial district seems to have all these different warehouses and potential factories that may have closed down a few years ago. and is pretty mildly detached from the rest of Hope Springs. Because when you first come in, it's very well paved, maintained, looks really nice. There's quite a lot of different high-rise buildings and such. And what's even better is that if you continued along on the path, you would have actually reached the shore where there was a port. But now that you're in this more run-down, rusted-down part of town, the vibe immediately changes until eventually you park the car into the warehouse that you're supposed to be at. Laurel looks outside from the window. Yep, this is it. Good old industrial district. Good place in order to get stabbed.
Well, it looks like the building we're looking for, and I look at the maps, look out just around the corner here.
He goes ahead and gets out of the car and starts looking from outside. She says, "Look over there. There's a guy standing outside. That must be where we need to go, or you guys need to go." Nick gets out of the car as well, closes the door behind him. He begins looking around as well. There's definitely surveillance around here. We got to choose our steps carefully. Cosmo, what's your plan?
I look at Nell. Honestly, I'm thinking fake handcuffs.
You're gonna hand me over on a silver platter?
Well, they won't be actually cuffed to you. You'll still be able to move when the time is right. I do have a surefire escape if anything goes down for either of us. I don't really see any risk to it. Nor do I see another angle to getting in there.
This is where they're gonna drag me before I suppose they're expecting us.
Right.
Fine, I'll play along.
Perfect. And you see this like devilish grin across his face. And he pulls out some handcuffs. And I'll put them on him behind his back, but without him actually cusped.
Right,
so I'll like just set them into place, but not actually lock them.
Without even looking, because Nick knows you. He says, "All right, take it easy there. I want to go to ham now." All right, so one quick thing. Took a look at the note as well. There's a passcode that you're going to want to say. I don't know why they chose this word, but apparently the passcode is Cheeto.
Seriously?
Laura looks, wow, these are supposed to be professional criminals we're talking about? And Nick just shrugs, hey, look, I'm not the one making the rules here. We're just invading in. All right.
Wait, for copyright purposes, it has to be Cheezo.
Cheezo! I was thinking similar to that of the code word they use in Critical Role with Jenga.
Yeah.
But they had to change it in the series, called it Changa.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, in the animated series, they had to say Changa instead of Jenga.
It's not Cheetos, it's Cheetos.
Nick shrugs, all right. You two are up, it's showtime.
Come on, you filthy criminal. And I pull him.
Freaking traitor.
So you get in walking towards this run-down looking warehouse with a singular rusty door and a very large Goliath man standing out in front. A bit of a dichotomy as this place is very run-down looking. He looks pretty spiffy. He's got a nice blazer on with a dress shirt, dress pants, good shoes. He definitely gives off the vibe that he is supposed to be the hustle, as they call it around here. Dude who works, probably more than likely works for Jacob. And he sees the two of you approach. You can't see anything beyond his sunglasses, but you can feel his eyes watching upon you.
I look at the door, look at him. Look at the door, look at him again. Ah, fuck you bloody oaf. It's Cheeto.
Alright. Good. So you got business with Velkin.
I pull on his arms behind his back a little.
Yeah. On Nell's. Alright. He'll be expecting you. When you get in, there's a pressure plate in the center of the room. Step on it and wait for the lift. He opens up the door. It's like, opens up. Definitely needs a little WD-40 in there.
Great, thank you. And relax yourself a little bit. You're tense in your shoulders. I can feel it.
I'll knock him loose.
It's a good way to get yourself killed if you do. You go. I imagine you.
Come on, don't be making false threats. Not yank him.
He closes the door behind the two of you, leaving you inside this small, dusty, rusted room in which all you can smell is the oxidized metal and well, the dust settled around here. There's debris and broken windows. This place looks horrid. But
Oh,
there
it's
seems to be a
in.
little... What's that?
So it's like a bit in like a disrepair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Is there like
This place has seen much better days.
how much debris is there on the ground? Could I like find rocks?
Cool. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's
Okay.
plenty of those there.
I'm going to pretend to like fall onto a knee for a second, and then on the back of my hand clips, I'm going to fold some a handful of pebbles into my hands.
Okay, you're trying to do this in like a subtle way?
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead and do a sleight of hand check.
yeah. As I'm like being forcibly yanked, quote unquote.
Yeah.
14.
Wow, 14, very good. You go ahead and kind of kneel down a bit, kind of faking a bit of a trip, a bit of feint, and you pick up a couple rocks in your hands. These seem to be broken down from the floor itself, as it's been in a horrid state of disrepair, but they serve your purposes.
Yep. And then I'll put my hands back behind me, like I'm still actually handcuffed, and clench them, holding the rocks in between my clutched fists.
Inside, the two of you get to see what the guard was talking about. There is what looks like to be a dusted over insignia on the center part of the floor. This must be what the guy was talking about.
The only way in and out is that door? No windows going in?
There are windows up at the top, but they're about like at least 15 feet up high.
Yeah, they're that top liner
Yep.
just to let light in
Exactly.
the warehouse. Yep. Okay. Is there any of those big like gate doors, or is it just the iron door?
Just the iron door to get in.
Well, time to meet your maker. And I step on the
Okay.
plate.
You hear a click as suddenly the floor around you kicks up dust and debris as it begins to slowly descend downward. The space around you is a square panel that is around 10 feet in diameter. So you probably can only fit like maybe 4 people on it. It's a small thing.
And it goes up?
It goes
or
down.
It came up?
No, it kicks dust up as it begins to whirl to life, but then you start to slowly descend downwards.
Alright. Maybe my way out isn't as surefire as I thought, as we're like descending below the floor.
Starting to go underground now.
What the hell you mean by that?
Let's just hope I don't need to use it. As I look up and we're like 40 feet down.
You start to go down more and more until eventually lift stops. And forward, you get to see a long hallway, about maybe 20 feet long into 10 feet wide, in which you get to see a set of metal double doors at the very end. This place is very dimly lit. There are some leftover auxiliary lights that are on, giving this place a sort of eerie red glow to it. It's up to you to decide your approach. What do you want to do?
What was the name of that night that you bashed into Little Jello?
Devos.
Devils. Well, thank you, Devils. Start walking up and just driving.
Yeah, you take them in your hands, and eventually you reach the front door. There doesn't seem to be any identifiers or anything. It seems to be a very simple metal door.
I'll push it open.
You do so, and it shakes a little bit, as you can tell that it is indeed locked.
I'll try it again, realizing it's locked. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Bang on the door.
You see a metal panel slide open, and you can see a pair of eyes staring at you. What do you want?
I want to get in.
What business you got?
Oh, you load of fat asses. Are you wanting a Cheeto too?
There's just this dejected sigh. All right. Closes the panel. You hear it click open, and then eventually you get to see what looks like to be a half-orc opening up the door for you. Get your asses in here.
Right, thank you, and I'll smack his stomach as we walk in.
All right, little shit. And as you enter in, this is a far cry from the horridly displaced, rustic nightmare that was up front, where you are only one step away from needing a tetanus shot. Inside here is very well furnished, a little gaudy actually, as there are some parts on. It's a very wide room as well too. But inside, there's a lot of what looks like to be armed individuals. And part of the gaudiness that you see on one end, the right-hand side, is that there is some shag carpeting over on the very end with a bit of like this odd violet-colored mood lighting of sorts. However, there is also a very large desk set in the back, and behind it is that very same man that you saw his ugly mug on, Jacob Velkin in the flesh. And he's a bit of a big boy, wide. He has these dark glasses on, in which he also has a cigar in his hand. He's currently partaking in as he sees you walking in. Well, what do I got in my little humble abode here?
I kind of pick up the handcuffs. I believe you're looking for this.
Am I? He looks over at...
Aren't you?
Looks over at Nell. Alright, I'll bite. I'll bite, man. What the hell is this?
Oh, I understand. You're just a middleman. Well, your lovely acquaintance Devos proved his incompetence in trying to retrieve this, and I yank it a little higher.
Devos. Huh.
And he unfortunately just fell. So, I'm here in his stead, and I'm told to be looking for Velkin, Velcro, something.
Jacob Velk, at your service. He's speaking to him. Shifts in his chair a bit. Now, tell me, who the hell is Devos? What you here for?
Oh, you're a lot less informed than I thought.
Seems that there's been some crossed wires, my man.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'm trying to figure out how to deliver my package here. And you're the only lead that I have, being the only one that survived getting him. Fucking twerp, and I yank his wrist a little bit.
Traitors.
Traitors. I know what's happening. A little bit. Yeah, I managed to get a couple of bits of info. That's what I do, after all. I'm the top dog when it comes to working stuff around here. You get me? That sounds like you looking for some info. Is exactly... Well, let's just say, I'm the man that you'd be looking for. Now, that being said, gotta ask, my man, what are you looking for? What's brought you here?
A number of things, but first and foremost is where the other traitors are. You see, I'm what they call a hopeful, and I'm trying to find my own hope, if that's how you want to word it, and drop this here off, make a name for myself, try and become the top dog like yourself.
He takes a drag off of his cigar. Respect. I dig it, but you gotta know something, my man. Them traitors are all over the damn place. Ain't no one spot for them. Not as far as I know. Everyone loves to keep secrets.
You can say that again.
Impossible. Italians have family.
Alright. I see that we got ourselves a couple of secret holders ourselves. Alright. I get it. Listen, my man, I know you ain't with Tally. That guy certainly is. He got a little heated. That's alright. We get ourselves really into some business. Can't help but get a little passionate. So tell me, what y'all here for then? No, I mean really what you here for. Can't help you if I don't know.
No, you're right about that. I'm not quite a member of Talion yet. But I am quite interested in this treason taking place, and I'd like to see it as an opportunity to better myself. Taking advantage of this confusion between Talion is presented with me quite an opportunity.
One thing you gotta know, man, is that if you're gonna be asking for that kind of info, I'm gonna be working against some of the others. And I don't mind that. I love me some business, don't matter where it comes from. you gotta know that. You gotta offer me something good. So what you got?
What is it you're wanting?
He kind of looks over the two of you, kind of almost seemingly scanning for something. All right, I got something. Let's call this a little impromptu interview. Hope you got your resumes ready. Takes another drag. What's your skills set? What are you good at?
I look down at Nell.
Mm.
Look up at look down at my hands. I'm quite adept with magic, but unfortunately it's on the fritz at the moment. So my capabilities quite go haywire and is a bit unpredictable.
I see. Appreciate the honesty. What about you?
That's what you asked.
Hell yeah. What about you, little hopeful?
Good at bashing in the skulls of these turncoats.
Get a violent streak in ya. I dig it. Anything else you might be good at? Subtlety? Information gathering? Come on, work with me a little bit here.
All of the above on me end.
Oh, shit. For real?
I'm a man of many talents, and where I'm needed, I'll fit.
Good at many things. He's good at bashing skulls in. You guys might be perfect. All right. I think I heard everything I needed to. He goes ahead and sits upright, and he brings his elbows to the table, interlocks his fingers together. I got a job that needs doing, and I'm just missing a couple of people. I've already got 4 together. And you know what they say about too many cooks now, but I just need 2 more people who are good at working together with some people. It's a bit out of the blue, I know, but I need some real talented people. And you two almost look like those kinds of people. Not only am I willing to give you a chance in order to be able to make things good for all of us, I'd be willing to give you that info and a cut as well. This is going to be a big job, too. What do you say?
Well, I'd be giving up my current job to take on another, so what's this job entail?
Glad you asked. I'll give you the full details if you decide to stick with it, but I'll tell you this right now. It's a retriever looking for something, well, it's going to be expensive. So right now, if the idea of getting some info from me, the guy who knows just about damn near everything around here, doesn't entice you, how about I give you a nice bonus on top of that? My client, that I'm not willing to divulge for obvious reasons, is looking to give a massive payout for one singular object. Now we're talking boku bucks, my man. Everyone who gets a cut of this is getting around at least $500,000. Sits back in his chair, kind of gauging your reaction to that kind of money.
And narrow my eyes at him. So, how many people are we to be working with?
Like I said, I already got 4. But now, I need just 2 more. Perfect team. And these guys are pretty talented. Colorful characters, but talented. I think you guys might just fit in. As long as you're able to play nice with others.
So you're willing to part with $3 million to a bunch of offhand ragtaggers that you just formed together?
Not everyone is ragtag, mind you. I've had some of them do some jobs for me, and some people I've known for a real good while.
Oh, no, I know we're not old. I was referring to the rest of them.
Look at this joker. I like you. What can I call you, huh?
My name is Kosmo.
I dig it. And you, hopeful? What about you?
Nell.
No. Both good names. I like it. Righteous. All right. Very good. You've enticed me. I just need a couple of professionals, that's all. And it looks like you guys have the gall in order to come around here and not worry about getting shot or stabbed. You guys might be exactly what I'm looking for. It's a little last minute, sure, but hey, a little ramshackling didn't hurt nobody, right? So what do you say? We got a deal?
I'll let go of Nell's handcuffs and yank him off of his hands.
Well, I kind of just massage the wrist of it. Let a pebble fall to the ground. Fine. A give and take then.
All right. Then we got an accord.
Not quite. Since you're dealing with such a large sum of money, 500,000 to 1 million isn't that big of a difference, is it? I'll do it for 1 million. I know me skills. I know I'm a necessity to this. So, you double me pay and you'll get double the work out of me.
He shifts in his chair a bit, looking at you. Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Ooh. I don't know if I want to Tides of Chaos.
I mean, it's up to you, my guy. If you want to do it.
No. Persuasion is +5, so 21.
21? It's pretty good, though. Kind of sifts back into his chair a bit. Takes another drag, and then he puts it out on the ashtray. Let me think on that, but let me just say, you got a good chance at it. Once we get everyone together, I'll go ahead and finalize that. But I won't tell nobody. It'll just be you and I.
Just as I like it.
Beautiful. Alright, any other questions?
Are we to just meet back here?
Nah, we got a place that I'm renting out for the day. Little restaurant. Good place. Gonna be taking up the second floor over there. You'll get all the details and everything. And he goes ahead and nods over at one of his armed thugs, and they toss you, Kosmo, a small silver something or other. You can catch it?
Mm-hmm.
Catch it, and it's a burner flip phone.
Oh, nice.
Once you hear that thing ring, you're going to listen to it. No one's going to be repeating themselves. You're going to listen close, and you're going to listen well. Listen to the instructions. Go with it to the letter, my man. Hey, get me?
I get you.
Beautiful. Then you're all set. It's going to be happening tomorrow, so make sure you get yourself set and straight.
All right.
All right. Got nothing else going on. You're free to go. I'm looking forward to seeing all of your beautiful shining faces when the time comes.
Great. And as well, please don't let any of the other hopefuls know what it is you saw here today from the two of us.
You do me a good job, you ain't got to worry about nothing. But yeah, I'll keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Alright. Come on, you little twerp. Oh, shit.
Jinx up.
I forgot.
Go on.
Still, come on. I push him.
Yeah.
I shove him back.
You move out. Y'all can go ahead and do that outside, not in my beautiful office. You get me?
So much for your plan. I whisper back to
Yeah.
Kosmo.
You guys.
Well, it did
In a
work.
way. Odd. He didn't really seem to know.
I know. And I'll shut the door behind us to his office.
Mhm. Just leaving the two of you in this long hallway back to the lift. Some time passes as you start to leave and head back to the car, as both Nick and Laurelana had been watching vigilantly, and they see you come back out. So, what's the scoop?
Well, the scoop is that we know exactly where Velkin is holed up, but I'm not sure you or I wants to act on it yet. So, he's given us a task, and in exchange, 500,000 for this man and 1 million for me because of the difference between us. And I look now right in his eye.
And Nick just sort of, whoa, hold on. 500,000, 1 million. What are these numbers? What?
He's wanting us to steal something for him.
Holy shit.
I know. Which is more concerning is his immediate willingness to forgo an extra $500,000 just because I asked for it.
Either he's got something up his sleeve or he's desperate.
Or he's not even foreseeing to fulfill it in the first place.
Maybe. Either way, we need to play our cards close to our chest too. I think
Great.
we act on this.
I do too. I look at Nell and Laura.
She nods. I mean, yeah, I suppose so. It's...
Right. Vulcan didn't know anything about Devos either.
Did he not?
No, it's strange.
So
He didn't.
So what the hell's happening?
It seems that this sort of coup d'etat that your little band of misfits is undergoing is completely separate from whatever it is Velkin
He
is
knows
doing.
about the traitors, but doesn't seem like he's directly involved today.
So you're thinking maybe it's probably some kind of information exchange of some
Probably.
kind.
He's probably just third-partying
Right.
broker.
He's got to know something, though. I have a feeling that he's not being completely straight with you guys.
I think so.
I don't either.
Good. Glad we're all on the same page then. So what's the details of the job then?
We don't know. I pull out the flip phone. He gave me this. We sit and wait, twaddling our thumbs up our arses.
Burner. Typical. Okay. Then I guess we have a bit of an extended visit here in Hope Springs.
The sleepy town's about to wake up, it seems.
I guess maybe your trial has changed a little bit then.
Now, don't you think this year's test is a bit more harsh than usual?
I mean, yeah, if it were up to me. But I mean, if you do this, we can get some info on these traitors. I think you're on the right track to knighthood, like, fast track.
Well, there is a vacancy.
There has been now. Normally that kind of stuff would be punishable by death, but considering the situation, I think we have our work cut out for us.
Right. It's not like we can report back without knowing who to trust.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to return back to the halls and just lay low for a little bit. You and I are going to be working together a lot, huh?
I think so.
Not that I mind.
Right. You got my back, I'll get yours.
Absolutely. That's how it is. You know the creed already. And as for these two, it seems that I believe that our partnership hasn't ended either.
Unfortunately. But you two are starting to grow on me.
You know, same. But how are we going to deal with this burner phone thing, since you're in possession of it? I suppose you're just going to let us know when it happens, huh?
No, you think I'm going to let you out of my sight? No, you're stuck with us.
I see. Okay. Alright, I guess I'm going to have to make some calls then if I'm going to have to make sure that we're not potentially seen as traitors. Ugh.
Well, what if the two of us are just two more hopefuls?
Do you want to come to the halls with us? That's...
Why not?
Oh, I'm going to have to pull a lot of strings, but okay. You're lucky I've got some pull. I don't just let anybody in there.
Oh, you've got to, like, be cool.
More or less.
If you'd like, we can come let you know, but I think it's just easier we all stick together until we see this through to the end.
Can't argue with that logic. She looks over to you, Nell. What do you think?
Well, the problem is they're clearly looking for me. Is it really safe to return to the halls?
True.
That was my biggest concern.
True.
But the presence of two more might stave off their attacks on you.
Maybe. Either that or we find a hotel somewhere and just hang out there for the time being.
Well,
And I'll make calls over to some people that I can trust.
well,
At least I think I can
that
trust.
burner's supposed to go off tomorrow, so a hotel for the night probably isn't too bad.
Okay. I'll pay for it for you now, don't worry. You got roped into all this. It's only fair.
Thanks.
And as for you two, seems like we'll be working more closely, and hopefully we'll get to the bottom of this.
Hopefully.
Alright. Well, I know a good place for us. We'll just take it easy until tomorrow, huh?
Whatever tomorrow brings. We'll see.
Whatever it does.
The sun begins to set behind the skyscrapers of Hope Springs. Another day has been fulfilled. The fates of two have been intertwined now, their paths nearly as one. As they rest and meditate on the events of today, questions still remain. What is it that their employer is seeking exactly? Who are these traitors, and what is their goal? What is it that the BPI is looking for in this city? The answers will come to light in due time. One thing is for certain. There is something in Hope Springs that lies in wait. It has set its sights on the city and its people. Soon they'll learn of it. The encroaching darkness.